Hello and welcome to the Resource Review. This is the STEM Next monthly asset package review. We take resources and we smush them down into what works for 1 minute, what works for 5, and what'll work if you have 20 minutes, if you have some PD time to really get into some deep work. This is brought to you by the Indiana Afterschool Network. My name is Ryan with Magnify Learning. Let's jump in. As we always do in these resource reviews, we've got the 1-minute quotes to get you moving. I love this first one by Temple Grandin. It says, "I am different, not less." It's a super empowering quote that you can bring right into your youth. And Temple is also on down here. I'm going to skip down to my 20 minutes. I don't usually do that, but I wanted to connect this quote to this resource. There's a list of female inventors, and there's a quick bio for each one. So this asset package is around female inventors. And what Temple did is she invented this machine. She was on the spectrum for autism, and she invented this hugging machine. And you could get in and it would just give you a deep hug. And I just love the idea that you can even create a hug machine, right? She saw this need for herself and for others, and then invented something that fulfilled that need. How awesome is that? I absolutely love it. So she was on the spectrum, and she says, look, I'm not different, or I am different, but I'm not less. Right? What a great message for our youth. So find those quotes in that 1-minute section. Find one that really gets you fired up, and then have it fire up your learners as well. In the 5-minute section, as we look at inventors, there's this printable that you can find here, and it's going to go through and talk about famous female inventors. And it gives you a whole bunch of different ways to interact with the different inventors. You can get one to do some research. You can actually couple that with the link of the 20 different female inventors. If you coupled those two, it could be a really strong connection. So grab that printable. I also grabbed 2 of these if-then videos. They're about 3 minutes long, and we know that research shows that when our learners are with a STEM professional, they can see themselves in that role. And it starts to open their horizons to say, hey, I could do that. So I think these if-then videos could really fill that gap by introducing our learners, our youth, to scientists that look like them and are like them, and start to open up their minds that they can do some of these really neat things that are happening. So in this case, our theme is inventors, so we've got an astrophysicist and another scientist on board to introduce to your youth. If you've got a little more time, when you look in the 20-minute section, we've got great resources, but they will take some time. This one is a community around math. And we know that M in STEM, that mathematics, can be a tricky one to bring in. We know that some of our youth might struggle with math, or they just have this myth that they're not good at math, right? Like they have this inaccurate identity that they've grabbed somehow, and we want to rework that. So getting into this community, diving in, how can we help? They have some free consultations so that you can start to figure out how can you bring more math in. So if you've got some time, dive into that. Here are the 20 inspirational female inventors, and just an awesome list. Here's Temple. She invented a hug machine. So cool to invent a hugging machine. Absolutely love it. So you get just this little section, and I like that it's a smaller summary, because from there your youth can say, yes, I would like to research this person a little bit more. Just like this resource review. You don't want to get 3 hours into a resource and be like, no, I don't want to do that. And your youth don't want to get an hour into a research project and say, I don't even like this person. So how about they get 5 minutes on each person, and then they can dive into research on somebody they're truly interested in, and they can actually be more engaged in that work. And then we've got another resource review. It's not this one, but where our youth are actually talking about like these female inventors, and they give a quick overview of what it is they've done, and you smash that together into a YouTube video. This would be a great way to do just that, to get some quick research in, so that your youth are engaged in the work and they're finding a role model that fits them. A role model doesn't have to be somebody in person. Like a lot of my role models don't even know they're my role model, right? Like when I'm researching or listening to someone's book, I get fired up and I follow them. And it can be the same thing here. A toolkit for connecting youth to future opportunity. This is going to be another one of those resources that will take some time to dive into, but I love that opening. This comes from our friends at STEM Next Opportunity Fund. Comes from one of their guides, so it's one of their resources that they really believe in. So if you can dive into this, if you get some time to look around, you might just find that this toolkit is something that would fit your program well. And that is the goal of these resource reviews, that you'd find something that might just be a quick hit, a 1 minute, or a 5-minute activity that you can use right in your youth program today, or a 20-minute longer PD time that you have where you can get in and improve your practice as an educator. And I hope that you find something that works exactly at the right time and it fits your program just right.